This week's show is brought to you by the 2010 Glazer County Info Summit. And you can find out all the details right here on this page with a special link. And believe me, this is the best info summit that Dan Canny and I have ever put together, especially for people in the information marketing business or those people who want to jump into this great industry. On today's episode, we have an interview with a longtime Glazer County member and a good friend of mine from Australia, Ari Galper. One of my absolute favorite and often overlooked outrageous advertising items. You're going to really like this one. And an answer to a question from one of our viewers. Welcome to No BS Live. This is the place for prosperity. Yep, without the bull. Okay, welcome back, and once again I got on my Tuliano shirt, new one this week. This is one of my favorite ones, which is a denim that's washed. I really like this one. It's great with khakis. I feel like I'm on the Home Shopping Network. Here we go. I sat down with longtime Glazer County member from down under, Ari Galper, at this year's Super Conference, where he shared with me the marketing tactics that he's using in his business and how he better connects with his customers. Want to find out? Okay, let's roll the tape. Well, hi everybody. Here I am at our Super Conference with one of our on the hot seat clips with my buddy over here, Ari Galper, who is a former guy, lived in I guess California, right?
Yep, San Diego actually.
Yeah, and then you hibernated to Australia.
Exactly, so, floated over there.
Yeah, right. And Ari, you have done a couple of great things. And a couple of different resources that you offer, but one of the things I want you to talk about is your really cool resource called Live Chat. And tell everybody, like, what's the behind the scenes? What's gave you the inspiration to even create Live Chat?
Sure, what's called ChatWise. Oh, that's the name of the actual program. And the whole concept behind ChatWise is that the way we explain to our clients is your website isn't just a whole bunch of pages with text on it. It's actually a store. People are going in your store 24 hours a day. If you don't have somebody in your store meeting people live in a conversation, you're losing opportunity. So we figured out using live chat on your website with our methodology, you can actually engage people live in a conversation and create sales leads on your websites that go right to your sales folks in real time. So it compresses the whole sales cycle.
Right. And what I like about it, or let's just say the way that we use it at Glazer Kennedy, is we give the viewers to the website two different options. One option is they could just email a question, which one of our customer service concierges can respond to and answer the question. Or sometimes they'll even just send their phone number over, in which we actually call them, engage them with actual voice interchange back and forth. So there's more than one way that it can be used.
Many ways. You can also engage people when you're on the site proactively. So you can watch them coming in. If they're on for a certain amount of time, you can send them a little window to have a dialogue with them. There's ways to ask them for their name and number in the conversation, to have someone call them back if they're still on the website. So lots of ways to interact in a live environment.
Great. So, I mean, obviously we use it at Glazer County. We use it in a lot of different places, but give everybody, some real-world experiences of how other people are using it.
Sure. Here's some key secrets we figured out. We figured out if you put the ChatWise under your order buttons or next to your opt-in forms, you'll capture probably double more than you could before without it, because what we figured out was people who are not ready to make a decision will go and talk to someone live before they buy something. So that's a huge secret for everybody. If you have ChatWise under your order buttons next to your opt-in boxes, you'll grab a whole bunch of folks who aren't ready to go in yet, but are ready to talk to someone. And from that point, you can move them into the opt-in box or just get their information on the spot. That's a really big breakthrough for a lot of our clients.
Right. So if any of our online viewers want to learn more about this cool technology that we've been using now at Glazer County for, I guess, close to 2 years now, actually, there's going to be, we'll have the magical link or URL actually appear below us right now. You just click on it and just go there and you can find out about it. And the thing that's kind of cool, I think you still have this in action, is if you want to experience yourself when you go there, type in a question or something.
My team is there live, and there's a free video they can watch as well about it.
Yeah. So, Ari, thanks so much, and thanks for coming out to our Super Conference. And now let's get back to the show.
Sounds great.
This week's show is brought to you by the 2010 Glaser Kenny Info Summit, where you'll find a special link on this page where you can find out all the details, including how you can actually have your photo taken with our celebrity entrepreneur, the Iron Man, Mr. Cal Ripken Jr. Of course, Dan's going to be there, I'm going to be there, Frank Kern's going to be there, previous CEO of Early to Rise, Mary Ellen Tribby's going to be there. It's going to be unbelievable. So if you're in the information marketing business or you want to jump into this great industry, go ahead and check it out. So on our S&D section on this show, I want to talk to you about something that, well, a lot of you probably have seen in the past, but never really thought about it as a very smart marketing media, and it is a marketing media. No, it's not online, it's offline media. But if you're a local entrepreneur that wants to grab attention of people in a very cost-effective way, although direct mail is still my favorite, but direct mail can be more costly, you can check out, and you actually use door hangers. Yep, I got door hangers right here that you can have placed on the front of people's doors in neighborhoods. And so, like, for example, here's one right here that is from the Ready Clinic, and this is a big oversized door hanger that when you get home you find this thing that's there, and it also has a little card that's a magnetic card that you can peel off and put on your refrigerator, so when you need to have a clinic you can just go look there and you can call them up when you need them. So this is kind of cool. Here's another one over here that I grabbed, which is actually, this one's in Spanish, and so I can't even read it, but on the one side of it, it has a scratch off, so it's an interactive door hanger. So for a fraction of what it costs for direct mail, you can actually use these kinds of things in your marketing to really grab people's attention and get in front of them when they least expect it, because when they come home, what's the first thing they do when they come home? They got to open up their door, and it's sitting right there, so your marketing is right in front of them. Okay, now it's time for one of my favorite segments. Of course, they're all my favorite segments, but it's Ask Bill. That's me. Today's question comes from John Arweller in Huntington, New York. John asks, what is the best way to stay in touch with clients after service is complete without annoying the heck out of them? Well, John, once again, it's a good question, and I'll be honest with you, John, it's a question that I get a lot, especially when you write a book on outrageous advertising, because a lot of people say to me, Bill, I think your outrageous advertising is great, but I can't be that outrageous in my business because my customers are too sophisticated for that. And that's not true at all, because when I was actually in my menswear business, the first time I ever did the 5-page handwritten sales letter that's in my outrageous advertising book, people responded to it like you wouldn't believe, to a 5-page handwritten sales letter, such as presidents of Fortune 1000 companies, presidents of banks, accountants, lawyers, what have you, the kind of people that you would think are too sophisticated for that kind of marketing. So the first thing I'm going to tell you is, which is not exactly the answer to your question, I'm going to get to your actual question in a moment, the first thing I would tell you is, don't be afraid to be somewhat outrageous in your advertising. You got to cut through the clutter, so when people actually see your marketing messages online or offline, they stop to look at what it is. Now, in terms of your specific question, as far as when you're finished with servicing them, here's what you've got to be asking yourself, 2 factors. One is, how can I stay in front of people so they remember me? So you got to constantly communicate with people so that they always think of you. So the best way that I know to do that is newsletter marketing, where you actually put people into a newsletter, monthly newsletter, offline, not online, monthly offline newsletter, so that when they need your services or want to refer your services to others, you are always the first on their mind. Now here's the second thing about your question, is I have a question for you. Is that, what is the frequency when somebody should be using your service? What is the frequency when somebody should be using your service? You have to answer that question. As soon as you answer that question, then you want to put people into a lost customer reactivation campaign if they're not utilizing your service within that frequency period of time. So I don't know what business you're in because you didn't tell us in your question, but let's say your business is you're in the heating and air conditioning business. And so basically people have to start up their air conditioning and they have to shut it down. So let's say that you have to be in front of them every 6 months. So if 6 months passes and you don't hear from your customer, then you need to put them in a lost customer reactivation campaign. Every business has a period of time, I don't care what the business is, when people need your products and services again. Sometimes it's daily, sometimes it's monthly, sometimes it's multi-years. But whatever that is, you have to figure out what that is and then be in front of them again. So thanks, John. And since you were generous enough to send us your question, we're going to send you this week's Beat the Clock Web Deal of the Week. Now let's find out what it is.
Would you like to eavesdrop on Dan's Creative Thinking for Entrepreneurs workshop? In Dan's workshop, he reveals the 9 different kinds of creative thinking, how to feed the creative machine, and how to create at the speed of light. You'll learn how to turn on creativity at will, not when the mood strikes. For 1 week only, until 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time on July 5th, we're making Dan's Creative Thinking for Entrepreneurs workshop available for 33% off, and we're even throwing in free shipping. Hurry and turn on your creative thinking. Check the sidebar at the right for more details.
Now here's a question for all of our online fans of the NOBS Live TV. Do you want to have a chance to win the Web Deal of the Week? Well, here's how you can do it. Just submit your good marketing questions below, and we'll review them. We'll pick out the best questions, and beginning in July, I'll start answering questions from our NOBS Live TV audience. So just go ahead, submit your question below. If you're selected, you'll win the Web Deal of the Week. Well, that's it for today, folks. And as my special gift for watching, I will be giving you away once again this week. No, not my book. You lost out on that one if you didn't get it. But you can get our brand new Renegade Millionaire Marketing resource that Dan Kay and I actually recently recorded. And you can get it for just $1, $1. There's a link right on this page that you can actually click onto to get it for $1. And if you're not already a Glazer Kennedy member, you can attach yourself through that to become a Glazer Kennedy member and do a free trial of Glazer Kennedy membership. Now, before you leave, I want you to also check out the sidebar to see how you can find Glazer Kennedy on Facebook and Twitter. Yeah, we're all over social media. Also, make sure to leave your comments about today's episode below. And don't forget, ask your real smart marketing question. I'm Bill Glazer, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of No BS Live. This is the place for prosperity without the, you know what it is, without the bull.